Hello, everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in the Four Keeps Exodus, Part 8. This is our 50th episode, which is honestly really freaking cool. I'm excited about it. Today is July 29th, 2019, and you are loved. And I feel like that is a very important thing to remember each and every day, not necessarily just the days that we stream. We do, however, stream Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturdays. During the weekdays, it is going to be at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, but this week we will not be streaming on Thursdays because you can catch all of these wonderful people at Gen Con. So, consider saying hello if you see us, and it'd be really cool to see people. I'm looking forward to it. Other things that we do have is that we have, we upload all of the videos of our games, as well as audio casts to not only youtube.com/indooradventures, but also Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Overcast, Stitcher, Podbean, pretty much anywhere where you can find audio casts. That is where you can find us. Also, I would like to say we had an incredible fundraising event last Saturday. It was our guild home gathering. It was one conceptualized story across 4 different game systems. Greybeard ran a game, LB ran a game, I ran some games, and collectively we were able to raise over $500 for charity, which was really cool to see, and I am looking forward to doing it again next year because now we actually have like a date to aim for. I had picked a day entirely arbitrarily, and it turned out that that was Gary Gygax's day. So for this channel, from moving on forward, I would like to have our guild home gatherings on Gary Gygax's day, just as a means of saying thank you, because he knew the kind of changes that he was bringing about, but I don't think that he necessarily comprehended the sheer wave of influence that it was going to have. And so I would like to maintain that tradition of being able to help people, I guess. I don't really know how else to finish that sentence. I just want to help. Other things to remember, if you go to bit.ly/adventure merch, you can find yourself some cool stuff. We got posters, we got t-shirts, we got crop tops that myself and RJ, I believe, and Greybeard even are going to be. You're not going to be wearing the crop top at Gen Con?
I think GB might have my crop top.
Yeah, GB has your crop top, my crop top, and I think his crop top as well. So easiest way to find us at Gen Con is look for my cute little tummy. Other than that,
the best thing about that is I'm also going to be wearing dad shorts, so
yeah. So we got posters, we got the Stompfoot Gore Blast Gymnasium gear as well. We got all sorts of great stuff that you can pick up from there. Or if you are at a mild break point in the show, possibly leave us a review. Help us get higher on in that algorithm, so that way when I search up Indoor Adventures, the first thing that doesn't appear is the Indoor Air Conditioning Repair Podcast, because I don't know how they have so many viewers, but we will beat them. Hopefully this year, but we will beat them. But I think that is it for all of my spiel. So, RJ, who you playing tonight?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ, and I'll be playing Caelum, the Shatterkai Cleric.
Hi everyone, I'm LBHackEmUp, and I will be playing Gwen, the Halfling Barbarian.
Hi, I'm Supperwolf1201. I'm playing Arjhan, the Dragonborn Blood Hunter.
And I'm Wings, and I'm going to be playing Coriander, the Eldrin Paladin.
And I am the Indoor Adventurer, and tonight I shall be your Dungeon Master. So, last we left off, Gwen had fallen asleep due to the effects of a ironclad individual known as the Dread Knight, and was sent into the dreaming between Caelum and Cori, and the 3 of them ended up going through a series of trials. Caelum watched as his library ended up crumbling due to the stress put on it by Dendar's coils, and then they found themselves in one of Gwen's older memories, where upon defeating a ghost that they had encountered while they were there, were able to eventually free themselves. But This was only made possible due to Arjhan, as he followed after the Dread Knight and, putting himself on the line with very, very minimal health, ended up fighting and falling in combat, once more turning into Tarlean Yodaris, the ancient black dragon, where you defeated the Dread Knight as well as destroyed the crystal inside of the forest, thus curing the woods of this ailment that it had caused. During this time, Tarlean then returned to the party, and Gwen told him to turn back into Arjhan, and he confirmed that he was doing it not because Gwen told him to, but because he was doing it due to a long-standing contract with Arjhan. After returning, Caelum had helped cure some of the wounds that were on Arjhan before his leg ended up disappearing out from under him, as it had turned entirely to crystal, and then due to the crystal's removal from this wood, his leg also turned to dust. The four of you then made your way, with Cybra, of course, back to the Hollowlock ruins, where you ended up confronting one of the furbolgs that you had met, an individual by the name of Goober, who said that he would be able to grow a new leg for your dear friend Caelum, and upon placing a magical bean onto Caelum's stump and performing some druidic magics, was able to actually allow Caelum to have a foot-adjacent appendage. It does not have toes, but is instead just a lengthy piece of vegetable matter. It was then that Goober ended up leaving the four of you, and as the moon struck to its highest point, the four of you actually saw a small glowing outline of what appeared to be a child. The child that you all know as Amorous. The spirit that dwells inside of Caelum's shield. And that is where we will pick off. So, what would you guys like to do in the space?
Caelum limps over to where Amorous is, sits down. It's been a very long month.
And you see this tiny ghost form look you up and down, and then you see the head kind of stays where your leg is. And upon the shield, you see in kind of a frost-like lettering, almost like when you breathe on a window and can quickly write something before it disappears, you see what happened.
Caelum's going to explain from the last time he met her on the ship to now, just like quick spark notes. And then there was a giant snake, and it destroyed the temple. And I think Arjhan, Tarlean, freed us from the crystals, and my leg was completely crystal, so yeah, I was freed from my leg. It's always fun.
And the rest of you watch as this small little glowing spirit ends up just going up to Caelum and puts two arms around his neck, and you just see that she gives him a hug.
It's adorable. Divine sense.
Okay. Just like the last time that you divine sensed this entity, you are getting a lot of celestial, but also a kind of overlying tone of undeath.
All right. Coriander is going to approach kind of slowly and carefully so as not to startle her. And then kneel and say, "Hello there."
And you see this figure kind of bring their head down a little bit and hides behind Caelum, remembering the last interaction that she had with you.
My name's Cori.
And you see on the shield, spelled out in common, Amorous.
It's nice to meet you, Amorous. What are you doing here?
And then writing again, I'm Caelum's friend.
Oh, I should have cast Zone of Truth. Wah. Um. She just appears to be a child. I'm not like detecting anything.
You don't see, looking at this, you don't see any facial features, and you don't see like any defined digits or anything like that. It seems like this is almost like a cookie cutter shape of a child that has been filled with light. And it is the very silvery moonlight that you see coming down from above you. Almost like it is being reflected off of the shield to create this projection.
I'm gonna chat with Gray Skull. Just hey, buddy.
Yo, what's up, rough stuff?
I like that name. Are you in the spirit realm with you see this chickie?
Is what? Oh
That
shit! There's a little tiny one.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
And
Can you see her in the spirit realm?
Let me see. And he like kind of squints a little bit, and you see him moves his head from side to side. No.
All right. So she's not like a ghosty ghost.
I don't
Or at
think
least
so.
not a
Or at
spirit
least not
ghost.
like not a ghost that we guys can speak to frequently.
Right. Cool.
I'm not really sure what that is. It looks cute as a button, though.
Yeah, that's where they get you, though.
No, you're right. It's very true.
All right. Out.
Gives you Nux again.
She just kind of sits there by Caelum and Cori, but not saying much. She was saying all that out loud. Just her
She does
hat,
that
though.
sometimes. Ironically, Arjhan does that sometimes too. So, like, honestly, this isn't that strange for this group of people.
No, you guys have lots of exposition to no one in particular, according to the rest of the party.
So, Caelum, she's been coming around every full moon for years.
Since I left the temple? Well, probably even before that.
Amorous, was it?
And you see the small figure nod.
Amorous, when I first met you, I was scared. And I see now that the two of us aren't so different. And she's going to cast Dancing Lights to make basically another cookie cutter moonlight silhouette of Coriander to appear next to her and Caelum. And the Dancing Lights Cori will kneel down as well and say, "Can we be friends?"
And you see when this cookie cutter form of a glowing Coriander appears, you see that her hands kind of go up to where her mouth would be. And then she looks at it, and then she looks back at Caelum. And then she looks back, and then you see on the shield, "Is it all right?"
Caelum nods his head.
And then Amorous looks towards you again, Cori, and also nods.
She'll have Light Cori put out a hand to like shake.
And Amorous will reach up, and you see that it looks like she's holding on to the glowing form of Cori's hand.
Nice. Shake hands.
So, just observing this interaction, paying close attention to what Amorous is doing, would Arjhan have an idea of what she is?
Make a Make your Blood Hunter bullshit roll. I always forget if it's survival or if it's something else.
This would be an intelligence check.
Yeah.
Which I'm not proficient in anything intelligence related. 11. I think, hold up.
Don't you get advantage on it?
I rolled a 5 and an 11. So it's 11.
Okay, so looking at this, you're finding it hard to place. Specifically after what you had been told from Caelum and Coriander about and also Makath about the creature that had manifested itself in your heart as well, how it had a very strong sense of celestial as well as undeath about it. And you aren't necessarily sure why this figure is also giving off those same kind of vibes. It doesn't seem harmful. It doesn't seem malicious.
He's not going to press further. He's just thinking real hard about it.
So were you like alive at some point?
And still holding on to the hand of the silvered Cori, you see her bring one hand up, and she thanks. And then you see on the shield, maybe? There's a question mark.
Like, were you like a human being or an elven being or like a halfling being?
And it says...
Where did you come from?
And in response to both of those questions, it says, I don't know, across the shield.
Oh. What do you remember? What's your first memory?
And it says, it's when you ask what its first memory is, it says Caelum.
Where do you go when you're not here?
She points to the shield.
Are you just like locked away like a genie?
She tilts her head.
Can you come out if you want to?
Shakes her head. And then points up to the full moon.
Only during the full moon.
Do you want to get out of that shield?
She shrugs. And then you see a message on the shield that says, being outside is very dangerous.
You are literally a shield, a thing that is meant to get hit. You know that, right?
And it says, if that means Caelum gets hit less, I'm okay with it.
All right, she's cool. She can stay. Gwen like sits back on her elbows.
We really aren't so different after all.
I would like to insight check.
Okay, roll an insight check.
13.
Okay. It's very hard to get a read on somebody when you can't see the facial expressions that they're making. I do have a brief question though. Caelum, have you explained your situation having grown up in the temple to your other party members or just to Cori when you two shared your memory together?
I think Cori is the only one who knows. And Gwen now also knows, but she doesn't know like the full details of it.
Okay.
I'm sure Arjhan saw Caelum's back in the bathhouse.
Yeah.
What was significant about his back?
That it was covered in scars and break marks from when he was a child.
RJ and Indoor, what the fuck?
What? What? I missed it. What?
Wait, what? What?
Yeah,
Connor has
so
discovered something.
Did he just have a
so
realization?
from your understanding, from seeing if that means Caelum gets hit less, then I'm okay with it. You kind of get that connection of having seen Caelum's back from when he was a child.
Oh,
There you go. Oh, card.
God damn it.
And that is what your insight check is able to gather.
Caelum, what was the name of the man who raised you?
Farron?
Farron?
Or do you mean back at the temple?
Yes, that one.
Father Linar? Or was it with the
Out
D?
of character, how do you spell that?
Lyr.
Yeah.
L.
Y
Y.
N R or NAR.
Yes.
Father Linar.
Linar.
Okay. He's on a list now.
Mm-hmm. So, like, what do you guys do? Just hang out?
Yeah. You're muted.
And you see the message say, "He reads to me."
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Everyone's going to bed, so the kittens get to hang out with me.
Yo.
Lanky teenage years.
Ugh. You read to her? Is she like a child?
I just read to her sometimes. I don't really know the specifics. She appeared one day from the shield, and
Where did the shield come from?
he thinks really hard.
Cori, make a history check.
Uh-oh.
I remember. Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Oh, yeah. I guess Caelum wouldn't remember. 4.
You don't remember either.
Well, I mean, I might have just remembered. It was a gift from Saloon, wasn't it?
I don't know. I just
Wasn't there a gem baby about this?
Yes, but now it's a very lovely portrait of Livia tonight.
Oh. Great.
I couldn't put it back. It was corrupted. So, yeah, there's just this, I don't know. At some point, I didn't have the shield, and then, bam, I had it.
I don't know if we can get that back. I know that we've been planning on confronting the Raven Queen and finding out where all these memories and things are going, but after what happened, I think I already know. The offerings, she collects them, enjoys them. But it's like entertainment to her.
But why us? Like, why me? Why you? Why?
Doesn't she only steal them from you, Caelum?
No, she's taken a few from Cori.
But in your dream, when you guys trance together,
Yes.
wouldn't it have to do with the fact that you are one of her people?
I'm fairly certain she's taken them from all the Shat Archive.
I mean, I haven't met any to ask, hey, have you been dreaming about any ravens lately? have you been poking a hornet's nest and getting your memory stolen?
That's true. Has anyone else ever met another Shadar Kai?
Oh,
No, I thought he was an elf, remember?
That's what they are. They're
He's an elf.
elves.
No, I know.
Oh,
I
still.
thought you and him were the same thing. I mean, I know there's differences.
Someone called me a drow at some point.
Oh, that was it. I thought he was a drow. Which I'm still not convinced they're not the same thing, just from different places. It's fine.
Like a photo negative.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I've never met a drow either, so you know.
You have.
Olivia
Now
is a drow.
Now I have, but before I hadn't. Anyway.
She's on a t-shirt.
I am upset. I'm repulsive. I dedicate my life to the Raven Queen, and this is the thing.
God damn it.
wait, what do you
Caelum.
mean that she enjoys
Yeah.
our lives?
She
Wait, didn't you make a deal? Someone made a deal. Who made a deal with someone?
I don't think we know that.
Why? Oh, we don't know that.
Somebody said they made a deal.
I did make a deal.
Oh, right. You made a deal.
Let's start from the beginning. Damien was closing the portal.
Uh-huh.
I accosted him. Something went wrong, and I was not transported to the Feywild. I was transported somewhere else, somewhere with lots of snow. I was not doing well with that, you know, me and moisture. And then I fell a very far distance, and when I landed, I was dying. And that's when the Raven Queen summoned me.
Right.
She promised me that she would show me how to tame primordial fae, step by step, if I took Caelum to her.
For
Why?
what purpose?
I don't know. I don't know what she wants with you, but she wants you badly enough to prevent me from dying.
And you agreed?
I didn't have much of a choice. Caelum, I'm not going to force you to face the Raven Queen. This is your choice, and yours alone. And I'd like to tell you that I will defend you with my dying breath, but I don't have many of those left, I don't think. And I don't know what influence she has over me.
How exactly are you supposed to get him to the Raven Queen? If I recall, she's the goddess of dying.
Rookery of Bones, the Titan, the rib cage where all the ravens have been going. That's where she's said to go.
So we're going to play right into her hands and go there anyway? I don't think so. That's what I said. No, we are not giving Caelum to the Raven Queen. We're not.
But I need answers. And I feel like she's the only one who has them.
Indoor.
Yes.
Would Arjhan know where the sanctuary of the Hollow Guard is?
Make a history check.
7.
You've heard that there is a Hollowed Guard. As to where they are and where the majority of the other Blood Hunter orders are, you're not exactly sure.
Okay.
Gwen, what do you know about the Raven Queen?
What do I know about the Raven Queen? I know that she's the goddess of death, or the dying, not death. She's pretty neutral. something about a porcelain mask. I don't know. I just know that I'm not going to let my friend go to this bitch because somebody wants him. You know, if the goddess of dying wants you for something, that's, you know, not a good thing. I don't care what god it is. I'm not going to give over a friend to anyone.
You see Caelum stand, lean on his staff, and just like, I'm gonna go clear my head for a bit. I'll be back in 30 minutes. And he just limps away. Just
Caelum,
take like a lap around. What's up?
why don't you walk with me? I need to go get my stuff back.
Oh, yeah. He'll walk with Arjhan.
All right. Sounds good. So, Caelum, are you taking your shield with you?
Yeah.
All right.
After Mars, I'm gonna walk.
As you guys have had this entire conversation about what to do, Amaris has just been standing there, holding on to the flaming visage of Cori's hand. And as Caelum, you pick up your shield and begin to walk away, she just lets go of the hand that she was holding and just begins to follow after you.
The dancing lights, Cori, will dissipate.
And then eventually you watch as her form just sort of loses the humanoid form that it had and turns into more of a wisp, and then just trails itself into Caelum's shield. Leaving Cori and Gwen, as well as Cybra standing there as Arjhan and Caelum begin walking away. And Arjhan, make a survival check.
It's not bad. 19.
So with your 19, you remember that it took you guys several hours to actually get back from where you were, from where the crystal had been to back to the Hololock ruins. So it's going to be roughly about 2 hours. You're not sure if Caelum would necessarily be up for that, as he had only said that he was going to be clearing his head for about 30 minutes or so. But you guys can for sure just continue to walk. So we will go into that as you two kind of make your way outside of the ruins and find yourself deeper in the forest.
So, how are you feeling?
Do you want me to lie and make it seem like I'm alright, or tell you the truth and say I'm not really alright?
Caelum, I just died.
You got better.
I know. You don't have to be okay. That's not what I'm asking you to be. I want to know how you're feeling.
Anxious? Scared? It's a lot to process. I don't know if going to the Raven Queen is the right choice, but again, like I told Gwen, I need answers.
A few days ago, you asked me why I took up an interest in the divine. I wasn't completely honest. I have been talking to a devil in my dreams. One who knows my patron. And my patron, you know, the guy I'm cloned from, apparently was the consort of Tiamat. Until I came around. Now he's stuck with me. The reason I have these abilities now, the reason I'm drawing on this power, it's because my soul isn't my own. It is, as best as I know, it has always been hers. And I never had a choice in the matter. So there was nothing to lose, right?
It's still your soul, though. Even if you didn't have a choice, you're the one still losing it.
I'm really not sure if that's how it works.
You know, if it's any consolation, Arjhan, we're really good at improvising. So, when we get to that bridge, I guess we'll burn it.
We've been doing a lot of that lately.
Yeah.
It's really hard to put down roots whenever you keep doing that.
Next time we'll get a plan going. It'll... Sorry. Yeah, next time we'll get a plan going. It should... It should work. We also diverge from plans a lot, too.
Do you think you're going to go see her?
I don't know yet. But dealing with my stuff, dealing with your stuff, dealing with Cori's stuff. I don't think Gwen has any stuff.
Yeah, Gwen is very well adjusted.
Yeah. At the very least, we'll all have each other. That's some consolation, right?
Right. I just wanted to make sure that you know I empathize with your searching for answers.
It's appreciated. And Caelum will bump his shoulder into Arjhan's arm as they're walking.
Arjhan nearly falls over because he has 6 hit points.
Oh, I am so sorry. I forgot.
And also just died.
You shouldn't be making this walk, honestly. As your doctor, I recommend that you go get some rest.
He's still going.
Caelum has just stopped and Arjhan's keep Arjhan? Arjhan? He follows Arjhan into the woods.
Okay. So, as you both continue on through the woods, as Caelum tries to give his best medical advice, Cori and Gwen, what would you two like to do while you still remain in the town and you have just watched your 2 science bros wander off into the woods?
Alone.
Anything could happen in
Said
the
you were
woods.
going for 30 minutes, okay? You said that. Gwen's gonna kind of stand up, like put her hand on her axe as she does, and she's just, Cori, I don't want to have to pick between friends. But I think you know what I would do. She kind of flips her axe and puts it on her back.
Do what you have to, Gwen.
So we going to the Feywild or what's up?
I don't know for sure. She kind of like fumbles into her pocket a little bit, and she's going to pull out the raven skull she got from the Raven Queen. And it's just like a little bird skull.
It is
that...
the skull of a corvid, of a raven, and it has a kind of bead necklace around it. And as you hold it, you watch as this skull begins to glow with a dull pinkish color, and then you actually see that it rattles and actually shifts upward and points to the points north by northeast.
The fuck is that?
She didn't explain it to me, but it found its place among my belongings.
Northeast?
North by northeast.
So it's not pointing to the...
Not that I would know. Direction means very little to me.
So it's not pointing towards the Titan's chest.
It's not.
You heard the thing about, or you saw the thing about Caelum's school, right? Where he grew up?
Yes. I did.
Cool.
I saw some other things too. Gwen, do you know why the elves trance together? Or really trance at all?
I honestly have no idea. I had speculations of what it was, but now that I've been in a trance with someone, it's not what I thought it was.
We ruminate on memories of our own and memories of the people who are close to us.
Uh-huh.
And it is very important that the people we trance with are someone special, someone that we trust. What I'm trying to say is that you were kind of forced into this, and the things that Caelum and I saw, if I will never be able to forget what I saw, but if you want, I will never bring it up again.
Oh, no, you mean about my stuff?
Yes.
Oh, you could, I mean, it's whatever. You can ask, I mean, I'll tell you about it if you want. I'm kind of an open book. It's not like I bring stuff up, but if you want to know, I can tell you.
Only if you want to.
I mean, she kind of just shrugs and like, it's just, I mean,
So
so
she
you
just
know,
she puts a hand over your face. But first we should get drinks.
Gwen does the cat thing. Yeah, no, okay. And she goes into her bag. She pulls out the alcohol that was given to her.
The
troll skull.
regenerative degenerate.
Yeah.
The troll skull limoncello.
Yeah.
If that's how you guys would like to remember it, you totally can.
She'll go ahead.
No, it's okay.
She'll pour 2 mugs of it and kind of sit down. So you know how I grew up in halfling society, right? Like, obviously I'm a halfling, but so I don't know if you know this about halflings. They tend to have really big families. Well, I'm an only child, and that's kind of a big deal. And the reason I'm an only child Did we decide if it was a twin thing or if it was just the after
It
me
was
thing?
just it was the other one. It was not the twin thing.
I remember we had talked
We'll bring
about
that up in Nights in the Courtyard.
Okay. Yeah, no, just after my mom had me, they tried to have another baby and it didn't work out. So they couldn't have any more children, so they were stuck with me, and I didn't want to do the typical, halfling shit. So when they decided to marry me off to, elevate status and stuff, that was kind of around the time the Goliath came, and it's part of the reason why I left. So, yeah, that's all.
It doesn't sound like that life would suit you.
No, it really, I mean, I don't mind eating a bunch of food and shit and, like being merry, but they kind of stifled my creativity a lot, and like they didn't want me to go play doctor in the woods with my friends. They thought that was an inappropriate thing to do. Yeah, no, it's just that's it. I was not the child they wanted, and they couldn't have any other children, so I was kind of the one they were stuck with, and then I left.
The natural plane is very different from the Feywild.
Yeah. I guess. I assume, from everything you told me, they sound like completely different. Like yours.
A little different.
Do you have any siblings? I don't know if you ever said.
Oh, no, I didn't have any siblings. But that's just because elves aren't very productive.
None of us have siblings. I mean, I have a lot of siblings now, but like blood siblings.
Oh, yes, no, like found family is valid and everything. Cypress was a lot like an older brother to me.
Oh, he wasn't like your boyfriend?
No, not really.
All right. Painted the picture wrong in my head.
Well, that tends to be the color of all the pictures you paint in your head, right?
Okay, you know what? Remember that stifling creativity we talked about? I've told you before, my parents weren't very forthcoming with the whole sexual education stuff. So I'm kind of in the renaissance of my sexual education.
I could see how you'd have to get pretty creative.
Yeah. I did want to tell you something. Remember how we talked a little while ago about the whole, like, what is love thing?
Yes.
I figured it out, so we're good.
You can't just end the conversation there.
I thought
report.
I thought I might be in love with someone, but really it's more like I just don't want them to die thing.
Gwen, you can love someone and not be in love with them.
Yeah, I know that now, but I didn't know that then, and no one was helpful in understanding what love actually was. So like I kind of came to that conclusion by myself. So if you want to know what love is, I don't know what romantic love is, but I know what it's not. So
I think I know what love is. I just don't think I can explain it.
Solid. Good.
That being said, I love you, Gwen.
You have a girlfriend, Cori.
Not in that way.
I know. And she like does a couple punches on her knee.
Shove.
I love you too, Cori.
Oh, thank you, Gwen.
I don't want to have to kill you down the line. So we're going to have to figure out a lot of things.
That's likely.
Do we know how to get to the Feywild? Is that what this skull thing is?
I don't know what this is. She just kind of looks down at it and watches it glow pink conspicuously.
I mean, I go make a deal with a hag and we can get a transport there or something.
You don't want to make a deal with a hag.
I mean, you made a deal with a hag and then you broke it, and
I am
that's why you're
done
cursed.
dealing with hags.
Yeah, but you broke the thing, that's why you're cursed. So, like, if I do the thing, right, it'll be fine.
Gwen, I like to think of myself as a very clever person and get one over on other people. It's the Fae in me, really. But I'll tell you a secret. I'm not really that clever.
Really?
Ernest
I think
raises the eyebrows.
I'm kidding. I think you are very clever, Cori. I think that you know a lot more than you think you do. I mean, just look at me. I don't know anything about anything, and I'm still managing.
Somehow we manage, Gwen. Clink.
It's been like 45 minutes. Are you worried?
That's out of character.
I would also like to say, as you clink and Cori, as you take a swig of this limoncello, there is no flavor for you.
Oh.
There does not. It doesn't actually seem to have the lemon tartness. It's almost just like kind of drinking water, but you can feel it tingle as it goes down. But again, there's just no flavor.
She'll like sniff it really quick, just kind of like stealthily, not trying to interfere. She'll stealthily try to get a sniff of it to.
It does not seem to have a scent.
All right. Gwen isn't reacting to it strangely at all.
Nope.
All right. I think Cori will keep that to herself. Though she does seem a little more solemn than she usually is. Like she'll like laugh at a joke and then like stop laughing a little bit sooner than she normally would, and just be a little bit more solemn.
So, like, how do we get your seasons back? That's a good question.
I'm going to have to talk to Caelum.
All right.
Arjhan might know something too. There was a tribe of Goliaths that worship the Raven Queen, was there not?
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell me about them. Did you know them?
I mean, I didn't know them. They were dicks. My tribe fought their tribe a while ago. It was pretty gnarly.
That bodes well.
I mean, we didn't die. If and when we meet the Goliaths, my Goliaths, they tend to boast about a lot of things. Take it all with a grain of salt, because, I mean, the things that I've done, I've never embellished a day in my life, but they will, for sure.
Tell me about the undead.
What do you mean? Like the ones that are raised in battle?
Yes.
So you know how Arjhan does that thing where if you pass out, he can like then make you hit someone again?
Yes, that's worrying.
Yeah. And very hypocritical. It's kind of like that, except for it's like a longer term thing. Like they're used for the remainder of the battle. Usually the remainder of like that day's battle. And then they're put to rest. It's kind of this whole like, it's a ritual type thing.
So they don't last.
I mean, they probably could, depending on who's casting the shit. We got a pretty powerful sorceress.
Under what power does this happen?
Magic.
Are there any gods involved, or is this scholarly?
I would think that there were gods that are involved. Would I know?
So you would know that usually who these creatures, the Goliaths, would reach out to was actually the Raven Queen to kind of help provide help provide fighters and warriors extend their moment of dying from the part where they were almost deceased to then come back as their revenant forms continue on the battle, and then once the battle was over, then they would complete their death cycle.
Yeah, no, it's the Chua would do this thing where she'd it's like kind of like making it was like the Raven lady.
Okay.
Now I don't know. Like again, I don't know anything about anything, but that's what I gathered. Because like people would be dying, and then they'd extend that period of time so that they would. I mean, basically exactly what Arjhan does.
So they
Except
weren't
for
dead.
long.
Just
Oh no,
dying.
they're definitely dead. Like just like as their life blinks out. Because they're not themselves anymore for sure. But it does help with closure too, because you can actually say goodbye to someone. They don't really, you can't really they don't talk back, but their spirit's there. They're still attached, even if they can't do anything about it. It's kind of nice, actually. It's good sentiment.
Gwen, like I said before, I don't know what influence the Raven Queen has on me, and I don't know exactly what she wants with Caelum. And she's gonna pull up her shirt and show the incision that the Raven Queen made that has it's been sewn up with red thread.
It was when you were still in her domain. Gwen, what you see is that from Cori's collarbone down the center of her chest, past her midriff, there is just this large, deep, dark-colored scar. That was definitely not there when you guys were in the bathhouse together.
Okay, Cori, put your shirt down.
She does.
Can't just spring that on me, okay? Hold on.
She wasn't indecent.
If you showed me your skin from your navel to your collarbone, you showed me everything.
I didn't say that. just like abdomen.
Okay.
You see that it extends upward and downward.
Strike that from the record.
You can recoil in horror as soon as you see her taking her shirt off, though.
No, it wasn't horror. Definitely wasn't horror. Is that how you died?
No, this was afterwards. This is how she took the seasons. She's gonna put her shirt back down and say, if I start doing things that isn't like myself, I'm going to trust you to protect the others.
Yeah, I can do that.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna kill you.
Like you could.
Oh, you just lost yourself another glass.
Oh, darn.
All right, really, it's been an hour. I'm getting worried.
Should we go and try to find them?
Sure. I'm only 2 glasses in.
This bodes well.
Gwen and Cori, both of you make history checks.
God damn it.
Stay down, Cori.
No, I just, I have my dice tower and I have a glass of water here. And they're right next to each other. I rolled a 14 in the water glass.
Does the dice float?
No, it's the metal one.
Oh,
And what did Gwen get?
11.
Okay, so the both of you remember that Arjhan had said that he was going to go and get his stuff, which you guys remember was over 5 miles away from this locale.
Oh shit, dude. God fucking. All right, come on. And she like puts on her stuff and like starts like jogging into the woods.
And as you do, Cybra runs alongside next to you.
You know we can't leave these boys alone.
Coriander just follows.
Okay. And that is where we are going to go to the boys that have been left alone. As you guys end up finding the river that previously you had seen all of these gems and crystals just kind of floating through. And as you're walking, you begin to recognize the areas that you've been to, or at least some of them. And after about 2 hours or so, at one point, Caelum, you actually see that the shine that is on your shield just sort of seems to dissipate downwards, no longer having the same kind of full force that it did previously.
oh, he looks down at his shield and just says, "Sorry, this hasn't been much of a story time."
And you see written back, what do you mean? You had many stories to tell me.
I mean, like, normally they're like good ones, happy ones. Remember How to Train Your Chimera? That was a good one.
And you just see, yeah, someday we'll finish it.
That's my wizard tower.
All right. And as the two of you end up making your way to the grove that you remember, Arjhan, where you had fought the Dread Knight, you see a greenish glow actually coming from that spot, and it seems to actually emanate through the wood.
That doesn't bode well.
No,
Can I like sneak up and like peek in?
Yeah, make a stealth check.
I'm gonna wait my ass here.
8.
Okay.
I rolled a 2.
All right. So as you are making your way up and you see this greenish glow, as you kind of trounce through the underbrush, and you know that you could be quieter, but it doesn't seem like there is any like immediate stopping to this glow, or it gets brighter by any means. It seems like it is just kind of in the center of this grove. And as you get closer and you look out, you see that there is a form, and it looks humanoid. You see that it is standing roughly about 8 feet tall. There is very nice pale skin, a kind of a black dress that seems to have almost like a little white underpinning from underneath a coat. And you see that coming from where the neck would be, there is actually just this green fire that seems to kind of come up and around it. And you see that there is what almost looks like a mask made of wood that is where this figure's face should be. And you see this figure bend down, and it is, from what you can tell, a feminine figure. And as she bends down, you see her pick up your crossbow, kind of look at it, and then she walks over and sets it down. And you can see that your things have actually been piled in a small little mound. And then after setting it down, you see this figure kind of look around. And then this mask, as the body turns, it looks towards you, and you can see the expression on the mask change from that of being more of one of pensiveness to now curiosity, and you see what looks to be an eyebrow raise on the mask, and the head tilts towards you. And the greenish glow seems to be coming from this figure.
Friend or foe?
The body of this form looks very similar to the female form that you had seen in the hallucination when you had seen Dread Knight fighting and starting the fire in the woods. And it just looks towards you and extends a long finger out and then curls it, beckoning you forward.
Hey, Caelum.
Caelum walks over. Yeah, okay.
And the figure tilts its head towards you as well. And then puts both of its hands behind its back, assuming a very non-threatening position.
Hi.
It
And
also-
Arjhan will approach.
And you hear a voice kind of echo through this grove. And it says, "Hello."
Hi.
You heard that too, right? It's not just me.
You both hear it.
Okay, cool.
And you see that she is standing in between your things, Arjhan, and behind her you can see that there are these tattered, broken armor plates that you would remember being the corpse of this creature that you had defeated earlier that day. And
The nightmare, yeah.
yeah, and the figure puts its hands behind its back again and says, "I was hoping you would return. I wanted to give my thanks."
What happened?
Where would you like to start? Which happened?
I don't know. I guess I like saw you and this mechanical creature.
She looks back. Ah. When I was alive, I had a loving husband. We had a happy life. Then I fell ill. After I fell ill, I passed. Tried to, as it were. But my husband held a different kind of hope. Eventually, this one, she motions towards the metallic figure, came into town, slew him, and together we followed, till we came to this wood. This one tried to destroy me, called me an abomination. And he was right. It was right. And through our interaction, and she motions to the scorched forest around you. That is why we were fighting. He sought to destroy. The fires consumed us both. And we both survived in our own way.
What'll you do now?
Shall become the guardian of this place. I was before the affliction took hold on the woods. The affliction that again you cured. And for that you again have my thanks.
When you say this place, you'll be the guardian of this place.
Yes.
How far does your influence reach?
That I know not. To the edge of the forest. Towards the ruined city. Towards the river to the south. Find it very difficult to cross over these rivers.
The ruined city has some new inhabitants.
I've seen, yes. They were among of the first afflicted. And if I am being honest, I believe it was their presence that exacerbated this problem. When they arrived, they were full of fear. They were scared. They were running from something. From what I am unsure of. But the seed of hatred seemed to resonate with that fear. And grew. And continued to grow. Till you all came.
Will you be able to protect these new occupants?
I would like to hope so. If they do not wish for my help, reject my help, I can only do so much.
What's your name?
I have been called the Lady of the Ashwood, and that is what I shall call myself. There were others that came here, through this place. I presented myself to them, and they seemed frightened of my presence. But you are not. Why is that?
We've seen some shit. Sorry, pardon my...
No, he's right. We've seen some shit.
Is understandable. Based on your equipment, I would assume adventurers?
Yeah.
I see.
For keeps party. Not that we have been able to afford to keep yet.
We have the one that we can...
That we can't go back to.
Yeah.
She just kind of tilts her head and says, adventurers are a curiosity, to say the least. There are some of you who seek the general well-being of the realm, and there were others, like the ones that slayed my husband, that seem to be out for, well, themselves. When I had died, My husband did what he could to bring me back to life. He prayed to the gods. He prayed to Caelum as his favorite. He prayed to a dwarven god whose name I've forgotten. He prayed to the Raven Queen even, to see about bringing me back, but none of them would listen. So he sought other means. Started praying to not the gods, but seeking help from those that lay below. He didn't know he was trapping me. He was preventing me from moving on. So I sat and waited patiently. He eventually found an artifact that he believed would resuscitate me. And before he could complete his ritual, I watched as his ends came about from his own means. The one that killed him was a necromancer, one so focused on bringing the dead back to life, just as he. She called herself Adventurer. So after my husband was raised, those that lay below decided it would be fitting that I should join him. So I rose as well and followed. That is where I became this abomination, as the Armored One described it. And at that, she motions towards your things and says, "You can take of it as you will. I will not stop you from what is rightfully yours."
And Arjhan's gonna re-equip himself.
Okay.
Did you see a like metal cat here?
And she nods and actually walks over towards the edge of the grove, and you see that she kind of rifles through a bush and then brings out a small mechanical construct that seems to be in very ill repair.
He's just gonna stuff that back in his bag.
A few mendings and that'll be right as rain.
She nods.
If it's not too forward of me, lady? Miss?
Ashwood is fine.
Oh. If your influence is over this forest, would you mind granting us your... what's the word?
My blessing.
Yeah. While we're still here.
I have seen to it that you will have safe passage as you travel through these woods.
Caelum bows to her.
You have done not only myself a service, but the inhabitants of this wood a service as well.
Do you need anything else done?
From you all, no. Other than to find the ones that did this to my husband, and bring them to justice.
Do you have some like really specific descriptions or their names?
I know not of names. Something I was unable to remember. But I remember there was a human fighter, a female who used 2 war picks as her weapons. and a half-drow, for she was the necromancer. There have
Human
been...
fighter is very inspecific. Sorry.
It's all right. There have been many who have come through these woods. And I remember mostly what they look like. But I have not been able to interact with them. You are the first in a while that I've seen come to this place. However, there was only one other before you. A human man in a cart full of medical tinctures and tonics made his way into this woods and stayed here for 5 days. He stayed in this place. When I was alive, my husband was a gravekeeper. I have seen many families and others communicating with their loved ones at tombstones, sending their regards. It was similar what this man was doing. And then at the end, he packed up dirt and soil from around the crystal, put it into his cart, and he headed southward.
You don't think...
Indra, what sort of insight would I be able to gain from this?
What kind of insight are you trying to look for? Actually,
Like what is it? What is she suggesting that this man has done?
make a history check, actually.
19.
You remember back when you had gone through Silt Creek after the events of battling a ghost and talking with the people of the town, that they had described a medicine man from the north,
Right,
who had made his way southward and had healed this child that had fallen catatonic before again moving on, heading south. And the way that she's describing it and the way that you have heard it described from the people of Silt Creek, you are guessing that this man was one and the same, that these two individuals are connected.
and because he was gathering dirt and everything, we would assume that he is also the supplier of Stemphazeno, the award-winning arborist
Yes.
soil. Yeah.
Seems wherever this cart guy goes, it's just trouble that follows.
Dark hair, black as ravens. Then he left. And besides him, it has only been you. And you. And soon your friends, as they travel this way.
Oh,
Yeah, we've been gone for a while.
yeah. I said I was only going to be gone for 30 minutes.
I said I was going to go get my stuff.
We could just leave. Try and circle around them, get back to the waterfall. We were here the entire time. Woo!
They will
Is
be
it-
with you soon.
Okay.
And
If we start heading back, would you know if we would like meet up with them? I don't know if that's like part of your domain.
I can ensure it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And she nods again. And then you see her extend a hand out towards the remnants of this metallic figure. And the same green flames that had wreathed up the side of her face then begin to extend out of her hand. And you watch as she incinerates the remains of this figure until there is nothing left but dust as the two of you begin to make your way out of this grove. And that is where we are going to go into our break for the evening. So I would like to say thank you to everybody who has decided to stick with us so far. Thank you to these incredible players for putting on, as always, marvelous performances. We are going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes. So don't go no place unless it is to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, possibly leave us a review on either the YouTubes or the audio format that you are listening in on. And we will see you guys shortly. All right, everybody. Bye-bye. Hello, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sally O'Malley. I'm proud to say that I am 50 years old. I'm not one of those guys who are afraid to tell a real age. I like to kick, stretch, and kick. I'm 50.
Okay. I'm so confused and scared.
Saturday Night Live, man.
I thought Cyber was gonna go into the, what's it? I have AIDS. I'm gay. I'm new in town.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome back. So, as this figure incinerates the metallic form behind you, you lost LB. Welcome back. I will adjust the layout here fairly quickly.
Sorry.
That is a-okay. So, as you were making your way out of this wood, Arjhan, you actually spy something on the ground that was not with your gear, as it was not part of your things, but you see the sword that was being used by this metallic figure. And as you look at it, do you pick it up and interact with it at all?
Can I tell anything about it just by like looking at it?
The thing that you are noticing first and foremost is that it is not a whole blade anymore, it would seem. It actually looks like part of this blade was broken off more towards the pointed end at the tip of the blade.
Okay, then it's Ashwood still here?
She is.
Is there anything in particular that you want to do with this?
And she looks at it, and you see she just sort of extends her hand out towards you and just says, his legacy will remain only in ash.
I'm not sure if that really answers my question.
And she motions with her hand again, and the blade actually comes out of your hand and sails towards her. And as she grabs the hilt of it, you just watch as it is also engulfed in flame.
Cool.
And then she will nod towards you.
Right, I was just going to leave it here, but like it seems really rude to like just like litter, you know.
You have much respect for this wood, and I appreciate it. And with that, you watch as her form, after incinerating this figure and incinerating this sword, that she just begins to kind of fade away into more of a greenish smoke mist and then you just watch as she just seems to dissipate from this grove. But you, as she dissipates, the two of you can still hear her words again. Thank you. And that is around the time that Cori, you and Gwen end up making your way towards the two of them. You've actually been like kind of like you've picked up your pace a couple times. It wasn't like a leisurely stroll through the woods. You both realized, oh no, we left the boys alone. So by the time that you guys end up reconvening, the Lady of the Ashwood is no longer present.
And that was the last time I'm ever gonna sleep with the Dryad. It was spooky, man. Oh, hey, guys.
Hey.
I was gonna ask your place or hers, but I know the answer to that because dryads can't leave their forest.
Yeah. She got really clingy. Actually, she's probably still out there waiting for me. Shit.
Gwen!
I'm sorry.
And that's why they call it a weeping willow.
Speaking of things that can't leave their forest, we just talked with like forest spirit. Something.
Oh my.
A presence.
A spirit of this forest.
Yeah. Her name is Lady Ashwood. She,
Is the Lady of the Ashwood.
Yeah.
You could say that.
Yeah. It was a very big exposition dump.
Did you make friends?
We certainly didn't make enemies.
That's
Yeah,
all
she
I
seemed
can ask
very
from you.
thankful.
Sorry, Cyberwa.
Yeah, she seemed very thankful.
Good.
And
Arjhan, did you ever explain what happened on the outside? Because, okay. Well, I know that we killed the thing in the dream, and then we came back and Tarlayan was there, so, and then I told him to go away.
The moral of the story is that Gwen is the hero.
I didn't want to say it, but since you said it, Cori, I really appreciate it. Thank you. I did try very hard. I manipulated the dream.
She released us from the dream. She made Tarlayan go back.
I killed the thing, apparently.
And as the two
But
of
that
them,
was a team effort.
as the two of them are speaking, you can just smell a very strong lemony scent coming from both of them.
oh,
Oh. Alright. Let's get you two back to camp. Get some water in you. Put you down for some sleep.
Okay, Mom.
It's been a long day.
I'm not that drunk. I've only had... Well, this thing doesn't really run out, so I'm not sure, but I don't feel that drunk.
Insight check.
Gwen, make a Constitution save.
I knew it was coming. Ooh, that's not great. That's not the right page. That's a 12.
You're feeling pretty sauced. You not only did you drink a lot, but then you like quickly made your way here, and as you were moving around a lot, your body started to metabolize more of what you had in your stomach, which at this point was mostly limoncello.
Did you want my +3? Did you want my buzzkiller?
Yeah. So 15.
Okay, so 15. You're feeling pretty good. You're not past the point of not being able to like focus on words and other things. Like it's hard. It's annoying to read, if anything, but it's not difficult.
Yeah.
Am I right in assuming that I can't get drunk anymore?
That is correct.
Cool.
That sucks.
Let's get in some drinking contests.
Exactly. Let's take advantage of this.
we had to find a way to profit off of this.
Stone face.
So I'm glad you guys aren't dead. Let's go back to camp.
Us too, and yes. Let's go back to camp.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay,
No
cool.
one here is dead.
What?
Why did
Let's
you
head
say
back
it
to
like that?
Let's head back to camp.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trot.
Okay, so by the time that you make it back to camp, it is going to be roughly like 2 in the morning as you left in the late afternoon to get to camp, stayed there for a while. In order for Amorous to come out, it had to have been later at night, and then you trudged about 2 hours back, and then 2 hours back again. A lot of leg work today, but made good time with it. Cybra's just enjoying the absolute shit out of this because she just gets to run and be free and do dog things. Do wolf things, sorry.
She's a good girl.
Oh, I haven't had a decent trance since Damien got here.
All right. Do you want to trance first, and I'll just wait until morning?
You guys can go ahead. I'll be up for a bit.
Yeah, and you guys have made it back to camp without any real issue. And you see that Olbas is already asleep. It seems like most of the inhabitants of this small town, or I guess rather large town now, but small in terms of actual number of citizens, there don't seem to really be that many going around, moving about. You see that there are a few of these darklings that you had identified previously, and you also see that there are several mushroom people that seem to just kind of be just trudging around looking for good places to pollinate.
Can I take an 8-hour trance tonight and just take 2 long rests?
You would not be able to long rest immediately after performing a long rest.
All right.
Mechanically speaking.
Yeah.
Mechanically speaking.
Mechanically speaking, if you just wanted to like hang out for an additional 4 hours after you did in a meditative like state, you could, but you would gain no mechanical benefit. You would just be sitting. You would try and meditate again, but you would find that your body would be too restless at that point.
Gotcha. The only reason I would try that is for mechanical reasons anyway. And so I do not.
Okay.
I'll take a normal long rest.
Sounds good.
Okay. Caelum's gonna let Arjhan, Gwen, and Cori take their long rests first and stand watch.
Okay.
And then when Cori wakes up, he'll take his trance.
Sure. And Cori, as you go to meditate and take your trance, you feel like there is a blockage. There does not seem like, typically when you have been able to trance and meditate, you've been able to either focus on your past memories or you've been able to focus on the memories of those that came before you. But as you go to trance this evening, there is just darkness. That's it. And then you wake up and Caelum has been standing guard and do you offer to swap in places?
Mm-hmm. She'll go tap him on the shoulder.
Hey.
Hello.
So, if anything weird happens to me while I'm trancing, could you just give me a nudge?
Of course.
Thanks. Caelum tries to trance.
Okay. As you go to trance, you find yourself once more on the plateau in the center of this elemental royal. And as you look around, there does not seem to be any rubble. There does not seem to be any dust. There does not seem to be any breakage. And before you, you see a very tall door. Same door that you have been through many a time.
Caelum looks fucking befuddled. He walks up and tries to unlock it.
Unlocks as it always has.
He goes in, closes the door behind him, goes to the room with Saloon's book. Are there books on the shelves?
All of the books are exactly where you left them. Your table is exactly the way that it was. The only thing that seems to have changed from before and after is that the book that you had, that is the means of communication between you and Saloon, has several puncture marks on its cover, and it looks like it has been stabbed quite a few times by a particular magic missile spell.
Opens it up.
Before you can
Hi.
even say anything, the first word that you see at the top is ow.
I am so sorry. I didn't know. Honestly, I thought destroying the book was better than Dendar having it.
And you see underneath, it was a nightmare. He never had me.
You know, with all the shit we have to deal with, Caelum's just gonna have this back and forth.
Yeah. And as you are having this back and forth, eventually it says, I know. You have been through a lot. I will recover. My pages will mend. My bindings will reseal. But I am never in danger, so long as the moon is still above your head and a love of knowledge is in your heart. This library will stand.
At the end of it, after he's finished speaking, he closes the book, presses it to his forehead, says a quick prayer of thanks.
Make a religion check.
16 plus 5, 21.
Okay. You watch as some of these holes and puncture marks actually begin to seal up. As you say this prayer of thanks.
I think I'm gonna go see Brother Gruen tomorrow night, but I'll be back. Turns and leaves.
Okay.
He locks up.
Sounds good. All right. So, Arjhan, as you are resting, you find yourself in a very familiar room at this point. There is a small table that has been set up for dragon chess, and you see that there is a red-skinned tiefling woman wearing, without her bandana on, covering her eyes. And she just says, I've made it to Hedgehome. You said to let you know when I made it there safe.
Oh, good. How is it?
Well, to somebody who is both blind and not blind, I would like to say that I miss the smell of the sea. To be quite fair, it's as enjoyable as it is being out here. It was, well, I miss it. And I talked to Fang. He was very insistent that he would stay at the Zesty Anchor, as it was his bar, but I was able to bring Mirth along at your behest. And she begins making moves on the chessboard and says, so the road was fine. It's been, what, 10 days at this point? Little bit more, I think. Honestly, I lose track whenever I'm traveling. It just, every day that you spend looking in front of a cart or trying your hardest to let others believe that you can't see in front of your cart where it's going, it gets tedious.
Yeah, it's just all the days running together. Yeah.
As they do. How have you been, though? How's everything going with you?
Well, we're in the hollow locks right now.
Didn't it burn down?
Yep. Some Fae making it a refuge right now.
Interesting.
But they were running into. Sorry, is like ladies crunching like really distracting?
No, not at all. I always just imagine that when that happens, it is Cybra just enjoying a good bone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, we made to the Hololock some Fae using it as a refuge right now. They were having some issues with I think it was Dinda.
Let's see if she knows who that is. And she just kind of tilts her head. Who?
Big nightmare snake.
Can't say I've had the pleasure.
And I think the forest is going to be a lot safer for people now. But we met someone there who gave us a little bit of insight as to what's been going on down the coast.
Oh?
Apparently there's this one particular medicine man who's been supplying corrupted soil and possessing kids.
It doesn't sound very... He doesn't exactly sound like a stand-up individual.
No, it doesn't.
Can't say I've heard of any medicine men traveling, but if I do encounter any along my way, I'll be sure to at least make note of them. See if I can, well, see a little bit more about them. If they have any ill will. But other than that, you seem like you're fine. I haven't gotten any shakes on the pieces of the Archangel that I was able to take with me.
You didn't?
No. They seem to only... Last time they activated, when your necklace did, so I'm assuming that everything ship shape. Should it not have been that way?
I died last night.
And at that, her hand pauses on the piece that she was moving, and she sets the piece down and says, "But you're
Charlie restored me."
And at that, she has a very kind of concerned look. He wasn't so willing to do it the first time.
No.
So what makes this time any different?
I told you why we got exiled from Arask.
Yes.
It's that same deal.
Well, say what you want about him. At least he is upholding his end of his bargain.
Right.
Although I would be lying if I said that I wasn't at least partially nervous about it.
He just nods his head.
And what is... I see you've obtained yourself a new necklace as well. She points at the holy symbol that you currently have.
Mm-hmm.
Something you want to tell me about? Or...
I've told her about Tiamat.
Have you?
Pretty sure I did.
Okay. Right, because she said to be careful about it. And so she'll then instead ask, and everything is still on the up and up with that?
I haven't heard anything.
All right.
I haven't been asked to do anything.
Yet. She looks at you with just concern. Hopefully, maybe, if you're lucky, they won't. Just won't ask you to do anything. At least that'd be my hope. Dragon worship and dragon cults don't exactly have the longest lifespan on this continent. Well, here. And she just continues playing the game with you. And unless there's anything else that you would like to directly talk to her about, your evening goes by relatively well. Just being able to kind of play games. And as you are saying goodbye, she will let you know. I'll let you know when I get to the gated glen. I should be safe there as well. And then I would have more time to set up shop. But I do miss our regular conversations. Someday soon, well, if you're near the Hollow Locks and I'm going south, it probably won't be soon, but someday in the future, I look forward to being able to have a conversation with you in person again.
So do I.
Good night, Arjhan. And she just has a slight smile that plays on her face, and then you watch as the visage that she has steadily begins to fade out. The room that you are in begins to fade out until you feel yourself in this moment between sleeping and awake, and you hear a rumbling. And the words that you hear are,
"Sleep. I dream of sleep."
And that is when you wake up.
What the hell?
And or what the fuck?
So, Cori, you are on watch when Arjhan ends up waking up. And is that your first words is, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Arjhan seems to kind of open his eyes very abruptly. And those are the first words that seem to escape his lips.
Yep. Cori will kind of start and like put her hand on her sword. What's wrong?
Chalayan.
There is no response.
Arjhan. What's wrong?
What did Inda say?
What do you mean? What's going on?
I don't know. I think something's wrong with Talayan. I think it has to do with Dinda.
Has Caelum gotten his full trance yet?
Caelum still has maybe an hour or two left on his trance, as Arjhan and Gwen had started their long rest before Caelum was actually able to begin his trance. Actually, I'd say at this point, maybe about 15 minutes, you could probably wake him up.
How is that even possible? Can Dendar do anything to Tarlagan?
What?
I don't know. Blake's going to start Arjhan's going to start working on a circle.
What happened?
Something's happened with Tarlagan.
What do you mean? Like what?
Like, I don't know. Arjhan thinks that Dendar did something.
Dendar's dead, right? We killed him in the dream?
He's just shaking his head, panicking.
I would like to make some sort of roll to see if I know what happens when a god dies.
It's
Okay. Make a religion check.
Okay.
Or a history check. Gonna be a very high DC.
That was almost a 19. You tricky dice. Well, history is a -1, and religion is also a -1, so 8.
You haven't ever heard of gods dying before.
LB knows. LB is concerned.
Yeah, Cori's gonna go wake up Caelum.
All right, and thankfully it was Caelum. You get woken up from your meditation right as you finish locking up the library. So thankfully, all of your tomes and knowledges are safe.
What happened?
Something's wrong.
What happened?
Arjhan thinks that Dendar did something to Tarlayan.
Caelum.
She points over at Arjhan where he's furiously scribbling a magic circle on the ground.
Caelum scrambles up, hurries over to Arjhan.
The last time he was like this, he was mumbling about killing an angel.
Isn't it around the same time Tarlayan? Anyway, Arjhan?
Yeah, Arjhan, you finish your magic circle.
Talayan.
There's still no response.
Newell.
And you feel a warmth on your chest from your holy symbol.
Newell, something's happening. I don't know what. I think it still has to do with Dinda.
And the response that you get is what do you believe is happening, my liege?
I don't know, some sort of like possession.
Is it something actionable? I am currently on the clock with Lord Agravain. I still must serve him as regrettably as I must.
I need to get back in the... I need to have an audience with him.
Well, you have done so many times, my liege. If you would like, I can arrange something for later this evening.
Don't worry about it.
Of course, my liege.
I'm going to try to trance, I guess.
Gwen has pulled out her flute and she's kind of cleaning it with her shirt. Do you want me to all right, sit down, sir. She'll sit in his lap and start to play again.
Okay. And as you play and you all light this incense, Arjhan, as you close your eyes and you feel yourself entering into this meditative state as you have done many, many, many times before at this point, you find yourself in your heart chamber, and it seems vacant. There does not seem to be an imposing presence leering at you from the shadows. There does not seem to be any kind of aggressive force waiting to come meet you. It seems quiet, other than the wind of the contracting muscles around you and the feeling of warmth that is usually ever present here.
Is the book still there?
The book is.
Cool. Flip through that, prepare my spells. Talayan.
There's still no response.
Tiamat.
Make a religion check.
If I'm standing at an altar of Tiamat inside my heart chamber, does that do anything?
Oh yeah. That's allowing you to make this roll in general.
Religion?
Yep.
17.
Okay. As you call out for Tiamat, you feel the holy symbol around your neck warm. Seems like your queen is listening.
I still don't know how this works. Dendar is encroaching on Talayan. And I don't know what to do. I figured you want it back, of course.
And as you say that, you feel the message leave, and it feels like it found its destination. But there does not seem to be any immediate feedback back.
Fuck it all. And he'll try to leave.
Okay. And you are able to come out of your trance.
He's gone.
Yeah.
What?
What?
Talayan is gone.
He can't just be gone.
Doesn't he live in your body?
Yes. Yes, he does.
He's an entire dragon. He can't just be gone.
Wait. This is a good thing, right?
No.
Why not?
It's a terrible thing. We've misplaced a dragon.
What if he's dead?
What if he's
Very
not
much.
and rampaging somewhere?
Wouldn't we have noticed that happening? Like him physically leaving on this plane?
What if he's Dendar now?
What do you mean?
You saw how crazy the Red Caps were whenever they were fucked up by Dendar, right?
Yeah?
Now imagine a giant fucking dragon.
Yeah, but we killed Dendar.
It doesn't
Can't kill a fucking god.
You can definitely kill a fucking
You
god.
cannot kill a fucking god, Gwen.
Deities only exist if they have believers. So to kill a god, you have to make people unbelieve in them. Otherwise, they live forever.
That's not what I've been taught.
What have you been taught?
Well, obviously the strongest warriors could bring down gods. But I mean, you have to be really strong. And we were in his realm, so he's already weak. And like, obviously we drove him back, if not anything.
I'm pretty sure it works exactly the opposite to that. If they're in their own realm, then it means that they're more powerful.
Yeah, but it was his realm, but it was our dream. So we were more powerful because we believed in ourselves. Remember, I wrangled my own shadow? Like,
I'm not sure that's what was happening.
wait, Caelum,
Hmm.
you went back in your place.
Yeah.
What did it look like?
He's thinking. For one, he doesn't want to dignify Gwen right now. But two, he doesn't want to lie to Gwen right now. It was intact.
Save
But-
the day.
But the book had damage on it. Mostly from me, but also some fang marks. So, I'm just worried because in some of the reading I've done, sometimes gods take on a specific avatar. When that avatar dies, they pass on to another person, and then they become the avatar. So, what I'm saying is, fuck shit, fuck balls. We misplaced a giant dragon
And a crystal snake.
and a crystal snake.
All right, well, good news. It's not our problem right this second.
Talayan has saved all of our lives 2 times over. We're going to make this our problem right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna divine sense Arjhan.
Okay. And what does Divine Sense give you?
Gives me Fey Fiend Undead.
And yes. Okay. So you get you still
Or
get
Fey Fiend Undead and Celestial.
yeah, you still get bits of fiend from him. There is a strong sense of celestial from the necklace that he wears.
Mm-hmm. Is it different than before, or is it the same?
It seems muted. Almost. The sense of fiend that you get, it's not as strong or present as it was when the two of you first met by any means. And if anything, it seems almost clouded.
I definitely think you're still connected. I don't know if he's still in there, but you can't access him.
Oh, that interaction's weird. I would physically have to... So... I would have to cast the spell on Terlan to try and break any influence over him. Because if I were to cast it on you, I think it would break Tarlane's connection with you.
What spell are you talking about?
Protection from good and evil.
I know that.
But the
Theoretically.
problem is, if I cast that on Arjhan and it does sever the connection, we might lose Tarlane for real. For real. If he's in there. And that's a big no.
When you were possessed by the ghost, I wanted to cast protection from good and evil on you. That wouldn't have helped. The damage was already done.
I thought we found out later on that it does also do the thing afterwards.
But on saves,
Is it on
let's speak purely in mechanical terms.
Read
Well,
your
that's
spells.
protection-
What do they do?
The protection grants several benefits. Creatures of those types have disadvantage, with types being aberration, celestial elementals, fae, fiend, and undead. Targets those types have disadvantage on attack rolls against the target. The target also can't be charmed, friend, or possessed by them. If the target is already charmed, friend, or possessed by such a creature, the target has advantage on any new saving throws. Okay. Relative to the effect.
Yep. And I think that your possession was not like an ongoing saving throw thing. It was a for the next 24 hours.
Which is bullshit.
Sit down, Bartholomew. What can be done? What can we do now?
No.
I can go back to the library tonight and ask around.
How far away are we from my tribe?
From your tribe, you would know that you are another 15 days journey,
Oh.
at least. 10 if you really, really pushed it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel like word of a dragon's gonna travel pretty fast, right?
Did the first time?
So, like, we keep going north? Where would he go?
Where would Dindar take him?
The fugue plane?
Yeah, I don't know how to get there.
Between waking and sleep.
I mean, wasn't the whole point that he couldn't exist anywhere but inside you, Arjhan? Where could he possibly be, if not here?
It might be. So whenever I heard him, that was whenever I was waking up.
When you heard Tarlan?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he's just moved into your dreams. What if he's just like moved residence from your heart to your dreams?
More of a nightmare, really.
Whatever it may be, that means he's not out. Do you want me to knock you out so you can fall back asleep?
That's not healthy. One.
Trying to help, man. Look, I got one thing I can do on this ship. It's stupid, but I'm gonna do it.
I will. Over the next couple of days, let's just keep a very close eye on whenever I go to sleep.
Of course.
Where are we headed?
We're going to see Gwen's family, aren't we? The Goliath one. They have healers and influence over the spirit realm, perhaps they can give us some answers.
Okay. Let's do it. Let's stop moving.
Okay.
All right. So as you pick up all of your gear, you load up your cart, you outfit Old Bess, and as you guys are getting ready, the furbolgs that had been growing all sorts of fruit and plants end up coming over and bestowing upon you about 15 days worth of rations apiece of just the vegetables that they have grown as means of thanks once again. And they also, again, let you know, if you see Plum, tell him we said hey.
Sorry, Goober, do I have to water this?
Oh, no. More, I don't think so. Like I said, I'd never done it before.
I'll water it just in case.
You think about it, you already are. Look where those little roots are going.
I don't want Goober.
What is it?
Stay classy, Goober. He gets into the cart.
Thanks, Scoob.
He looks at you confused, Caelum, and just,
I'm not classy. I'm Goober.
You're the best of us, bro.
and he also is just, no, I'm not the best of us. I'm Goober.
All right, Goober.
Best of us is still in the Feywild.
Goodbye, Goober.
You sure are, Goober.
That's the one.
I'm gonna step aside at some point and update Arask on what's going on with Tarlean.
You would be unable to do so.
The Twitter
What?
has to return to you.
Because the figurine of wonder turns into that animal and then...
Oh, and it hasn't come back yet?
No.
All right. Well, I'm going to eagerly await its return.
Okay.
Hey, Indor, do I know if the illusion of the sun affects darklings?
Not the illusion, no.
Caelum's gonna head over to Crad's real quick.
All right. So you go to Crad's place, and you see that there is a makeshift sign that is being held above this place. And you see that this was probably a hunting lodge at some point, back when this was still a very vibrant, populated city. And over it, you see that this sign has been placed that says Raven Blight's Revelries.
Caelum's gonna knock on the door real quick.
And door opens, and you see that there are several darklings that are all kind of sitting around. You see that there are a few satyrs that are there also enjoying some drinks as well. You see that there are these like tiny forms that are mostly head, but have tiny little arms sticking out and little feet, and they just seem to kind of be shuffling around. And you see they like will, up in the rafters, they will walk into a shadow and then appear at a shadow down on the ground. And they just seem to kind of be playing in between those. And behind this counter, you see pouring drinks into mugs, Crad. He just says,
Hey there, traveler.
Hey, Crad.
Nice new leg you seem to have found yourself.
Yeah, it's weird. I think it's a little bit shorter than my other one.
Feeling picky?
Not really.
Hmm.
I was wondering, would you happen to have any, like, glass orbs? Marble? Or, I don't know, sort of like a snow globe sort of dealie?
Not around here, no.
Hmm.
You could probably find one if you wanted at Ransom's Returned. It's the only other shop that we got in this place.
I'll be back. Caelum heads over to Ransom Returns, try and find some glass orbs.
Okay. And as you go in, you see that there is a satyr wearing a very nice, wearing a very nice apron in front. And as you open the door, a little bell rings, and you hear, "Oh, hello!"
Hi. I was wondering, do you have any glass orbs in stock?
Why, yes, we do. How many are you looking for?
How many are each one?
Well, that depends. Are you looking for fine glass, cheap glass, expensive glass, crystal, gems?
Something sturdy but not in the gem category.
I will do my best to look around. This is really only my 4th day operating the shop, as it were.
Oh, lovely.
And he just begins kind of trouncing around and digging through things, and you can see he's just sort of throwing things over his shoulder until eventually he turns around and says, "I seem to have made a falsehood. I'm still getting used to the inventory here. Most of the things that we have are just things that we've sort of found. And as luck would have it, from what I've been told by Talon, as well as, well, the others that have been here for a little bit longer than I have, this town was a popular spot for, how do you put it, acquisitioning?
Mm-hmm.
So unless there's one out and around, I'm not sure if I have one. It'll be on sale. Unless, and he kind of clips his little hooved feet together. Unless you were willing to make a deal of sorts. Not necessarily with coin, mind you. We could do with coin, but it'd be a lot easier if we figured out a different arrangement.
Stipulations.
Well, I haven't even thought of them yet. You have to accept first.
You know, I have a friend who tells me not to make deals with Faye, no matter how nice they are.
Oh, well,
He's
they sound
rather
like
nice.
a real buzzkill.
She has an aura.
You're friends with these kinds of people? Don't you like to enjoy dancing? Parties?
I mean, it wasn't by choice.
Well, it's your choice now. I see no other friend around you. Just you. Just me. Right here.
I would rather deal with coin. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're no fun at all. Are you sure you're not the buzzkill?
No, I've checked. I'm actually more of one of the... I wouldn't say fun. No, that's Gwen. Never
You don't
mind.
seem very
Yeah,
fun
I'm-
at all. He kind of just gives you this big frown.
Well, if you don't have any, thank you very much.
Wait. I could get one. But again, words speak louder than coin does. Coin doesn't actually speak unless it's been magicked.
You've been lovely. Caelum says, pushing back.
Tell your friends.
Yeah. Could I just try and do the portrait spell with a bottle? It is glass. It's sort of curved.
Is there a gold requirement for the price of the orb?
I don't think so. It just says an orb. But let me double check. Portrait. Level 2. Where are you? Fudge. Sorry, I'm blind. What? There it is. Using the spell, the caster can capture a particular image or scene within a ball, globe, or crystal. There is no... It just says one glass globe.
All right.
I mean, the image might get distorted because of how...
Yeah. I would say make a Arcana check.
Okay. I'm good at these. Natural 20.
You'll be able to do that.
Yeah. All right. Caelum zips back over. Crad, do you have an empty bottle?
I got plenty of them.
Cool. Caelum's hair is like in his face. Pushes
He-
it back.
Picks one up off of a table, kind of tilts it upside down, just to make sure that there isn't any liquid that's left in it, and hands it over to you.
You're not gonna break it and stab us, are you?
Not unless you force me to.
I don't plan on it.
So, nobody freak out. Magic trick, I guess. And he puts a finger to his head, casts Encode Thought, pulls it forward, the silver strand, and he thinks about the morning before they left Shroudport, where they went to the hill with the sunrise, and he fought Farron.
Mm-hmm.
He whips the thread around his finger and casts Detect Thought to bloom it out,
Okay.
and then casts photography on it through the bottle.
All right. So yeah, as you cast your portrait spell into the bottle, and you're able to kind of clamp this down, Crad just looks at you, and a lot of the other members of this bar are also looking at you. Just,
Is this the part where we stab you? Or wait, no, you said no stabbing. That's right.
No, it'd be me stabbing you, but housewarming gift, and it's like this nice sunrise over a hill that's overlooking a city.
and Crad looks at it, and he is speechless. He does not know how to convey his gratuity, and you just see that underneath his cloak that he has kind of pulled up most often presumably permanently, that he has tears coming down his face, and he just says,
It's beautiful. Absolutely stunning.
and he passes it over to another Darkling, and they look at it, and they also begin to weep out of joy, and it seems like they each take their turn passing around this little bottle of sunshine that you have left in their lives. And Crad just says,
I have no idea how I could ever go about repaying you.
Pay it forward.
I'll be sure to do so.
A little bit of joy in a trying time.
That's what people around here need, right?
I wish you guys luck. We might be back through.
Well, if you do, drinks are free here for you.
You might regret that, considering who I traveled with. Caelum chuckles as he side waves and walks out.
okay. And the other of you three have watched Caelum run into a bar, and then run across the street, and then come out of another building just looking like he has a bad taste in his mouth, and then going back into the bar, and then coming back out of the bar a second time.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Any place around here sell like clothes?
Let's not go to that one. He tried to make me have a deal. He points across to the...
Don't like that. Mm-mm.
No. Right, you need clothing. Wait, no. Do you still have your scraps?
I have pants.
You do
That's it.
still have scrapped pieces of clothing. It's just that when you had arrived back, you had only had your Hulk pants.
So the clothes that I bought from Rask, they were fancy clothes. They were not traveling clothes. So I want to see if like any place around here actually sells like clothes to travel in.
We should get you like. We could always try an acquisition some.
We could do that.
I think you look fine the way you are.
Yeah. So the only two shops are, the Rookery and the Bad Place. Not the Rookery. The Brooks.
Raven Blight's Revelries.
Ravel Blight's Revelries, which is a bar.
And then the other place was Ransoms Returned.
That's the one that's forcing you to make a deal.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try acquisition.
Okay, make an investigation check.
10.
Okay. Yeah, you managed to find a set of clothes. They don't really fit you all that well. They're a little short in the tummy, as you are a very tall, bulky individual now with these two kind of smaller formed wings on your back as well. It's very difficult, but you managed to at least find a cloak that fits well.
There you go. I'll make it work.
Yeah. You do your best. Yeah, and then Arjhan returns having found a cloak that fits well enough.
Boo.
Kitchen.
I mean, looks great, dude.
And it's gonna get really cold if, the whole naval aesthetic, the whole topless thing is your aesthetic, but like, gotta take care of yourself, man.
What, me?
I mean, Arjhan.
Oh.
Are we ready to go?
Yeah.
Arjhan, what is north by northeast of here?
Indoor, what is north by northeast of here?
The same things that were there when you both had this same conversation.
Last time.
Yeah, last time, which is Sertzelia is to the north, and Greenreach is north by northeast.
Greenreach. Isn't that where the Goliaths are?
No.
No.
That is
They're
Gwen's
opposite.
blood family is from
Oh.
Greenreach.
Oh,
Right.
boy.
So we
Wait.
had north by northeast.
How north by northeast?
What?
How far is Greensreach from here?
Greenreach would be about 17 days travel.
About 17 days.
Why are we going there?
Cori will just hold up the Raven skull.
Yeah, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's pointing there. I don't want to go there.
Okay, then we won't go there.
Yeah.
All right.
Cori, where'd you get that?
Raven Queen? She'll hand it to Caelum.
He
She
does
didn't
the do.
She didn't explain it to me at all. I just found it among my belongings after I got back.
Identify
Okay.
as we're driving.
Yeah, as you guys are heading out, and Caelum, you begin casting Identify. As you identify this item, it feels muddled, to say the least. It doesn't have a set school about it necessarily, and if anything, as you are identifying it, you get a sense of spring coming from it.
That's odd. Normally, magic items have one or two auras, maybe three at the most, but this doesn't seem to have a school set to it. I also smell like fresh grass, like spring grass. That's weird, right? That's not a magic component. Well, maybe to some, but like there's a feeling of spring in it.
Spring.
And Cori, as you look at this item and you kind of say to yourself, spring, the pink glow that is around this raven skull is very familiar to you, as you had seen a kind of pink version of yourself when the Raven Queen had stripped it out of you, wander into a tapestry. But it has that same colored glow.
I'm going to follow this skull.
Now?
Oh, maybe not now. That it'd probably be inconvenient for everyone. But she said she would show me step by step. This might be a part of that.
Boy. Caelum hands the skull back. Yeah, we can follow up on this lead after we're finished visiting with Gwen's tribe. And
They're like the complete opposite way.
well, we have to go back anyway for the tournament, so
Which you all know, at this point, the tournament is going to be happening in 30 days.
Yeah.
As you have
We're close to where it is now, right?
it is about equidistant to Greenreach as it is Sertzellier from where you guys are. It'll take you over half the month of travel to actually get to the city.
got more pressing matters. It's fine.
So, like, speaking from purely from a logistical standpoint, would we have time to go to the Goliaths and then still make it in time for the tournament?
No, because then it'd be 15 days and then 15 days back and then 15 days up. So that's 30 days going back to the tournament, right?
It's a triangle. We'd have to go around the map.
Oh, yeah.
The map!
The map!
So, you
Which I
guys
actually have.
are here. Sertzellier is here.
Fuck.
Greenreach is over here. Goliaths at this point of year during their wintry travels prefer to stay more where it's warmer. So they are going to be found more towards over here-ish. So,
Oh.
logistically, you could move
Ah.
and kind of curve it on your way.
I thought they were northwest. I thought they were over that in near the edge of the mountains over there. Under
I'll have to listen back to what I said previously, but because I am the Dungeon Master, aka kind of God, they're right there now.
So they're basically a little bit,
Praise be it.
a little bit southeast of Sertzellier. So we could go Goliaths, Sertzellier, Greenreach.
You believe so?
And where's
I
the
say
rookery?
that in character. As we get out our handy dandy map and start discussing things.
That seems reasonable.
Do we know where the rookery is, or that's where we're going to ask Gwen's tribe?
Pachow!
Way over there!
Okay.
We haven't even decided if we want to go there yet.
I want to go.
I knew you'd say that, but honestly, I was hoping you wouldn't.
Yeah, we need to figure out why she wants you before we willingly walk into a den of Goliaths that fuck with her more than the other Goliaths fuck with her.
Caelum's leaning on a bench. Oh, it's gonna be fine, Gwen. By your standards, we can kill a god.
Okay, the goddess of like almost death is a lot different than the god of sleep.
Dendar's the goddess of nightmares.
Whatever. He was a pussy.
All right, and as you guys make your way out of the Hollow Lock ruins, your faithful nag, Ol Bess, leading your old cart with the drive of an older horse, you guys see that there are some of these fey creatures that actually come out to watch you leave. Your Furbolg friends wave you goodbye. These mushroom folk that you had seen the night previously just sort of seem to watch out of almost sheer curiosity. You see and hear the fluttering of very small wings, and you can see that there are some pixies that are actually kind of zooming around overhead, just sort of watching you all leave. And as you continue onward, you see Talon on the back of his horse, and he also waves you on as you all make your way out of the ruin. And as you kind of turn back and look at the road ahead of you, Arjhan, your breathing feels labored as you kind of take in these deep breaths. As the cart begins to move forward, your thoughts go back to when Tarlayan was in control, as you've been kind of trying to think about what has happened, what could this have been that led us to this point where I can no longer speak to my patron. And you remember seeing through Tarlayan's eyes, after he had thrown the Dread Knight into the crystal, that he had looked down and the blade of his magenta-colored gem sword was up to the hilt inside of your chest. And Tarlayan had pulled it out, thrown it to the ground without seeming much issue. And you remember earlier, as you were leaving that grove, that you had seen that same sword, but part of it was broken. And as you begin to think about what this broken sword means, you look down and you can see that where on your chest, carved in as it always has, death becomes the gate, the symbol that says gate is glowing faintly a deep magenta color. That's our game.
Thanks, I hate it.
Yay! So,
The Indoor Adventures, where Indoor tries to kill its players inadvertently through story.
yay! So, I would like to say thank you to these excellent players for putting up with my bullshit each and every week. Thanks to everybody who decided to stop by and join us for our 50th adventure in the Four Keeps series. It has been an honor to be your dungeon master for this long. This is the longest game I have ever ran. So thanks, guys. And again, we are going to be at Gen Con. So, RJ, where can we find you? What do you do?
You'll find me at Gen Con. Also, at RJustice282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I tweet about the nerdy things in my life. You can catch me here as Caelum, the Shattercry Cleric, on Mondays, Tuesdays as Bartholomew, the Human Ranger, on Curse of Strahd, run by the lovely Danae Keener. And on Sundays, you can catch me over on Pro Restart's channel at 8 p.m. EST, where we play Cypher System, where me and LBHackEmUp play a rousing game of terrorism.
You guys
also
are
find
kind
it.
of terrorists.
We're kind of terrorists.
Yeah.
Not kind of, we are. And hey, I'll be wandering around in a crop top in Gen Con, so hey, he's up. I'm a hugger. But if you're not, I'll give you a high five. That's fine.
With the crop top.
Oh yeah, elbow.
Wow.
Elbow bump.
Cool. I'm LBHackEmUp. You can find me at LBHackEmUp on the Twitters. I retweet when I'm in things. I rarely tweet. otherwise, but I sometimes do. And you find me here Mondays and Tuesdays. Tomorrow we're having a half day. Yes? Okay.
It's a half day for you.
Oh, good. Hopefully, RJ has to get up at like forever, like super early.
It's fine. I can sleep on the plane.
Oh, okay. All right. Anyways, you guys, you can find me on Wednesdays on Damn It Bear's channel, except for this week because we'll be at Jinkin. No games for me this weekend because of Jinkin. And then maybe something on Monday. Definitely something on Tuesday.
Monday,
DayCater.com.
Monday, I think we're taking a break just because planes and travel and all of that. But I mean, we can still play in person.
We'll figure things out and let you guys know.
Yeah.
We play an out of game just about as good as we play an in the game.
Very poorly. Cyberwolf, take us away.
Find me at Cyberwolf1201 on the Twitters, where I shitpost and talk about when I do stuff on Cyberwolf1201, the Twitch. I play video games real bad and talk about lore. I got fed up with Watch Dogs. We're not doing that anymore. We'll come back not this weekend, but the next weekend because Jinkin. With something else. I don't know what yet. All the archives that go to YouTube. That has a horrible URL. You can find it from the Twitch. You can find it in the doobly-doo. I think. Yeah. Consider subscribing so I can actually have a decent URL. You can also find a podcast account with an NID called Let's Talk About It, where we get drunk, do parkour, and talk about stuff. We're coming up on our 1 year of doing that because we're going to start that at Gen Con. So, I don't know. There might be something special with that. I might ask a guest to come talk about Gen Con for the next episode. I might ask a lot of guests. I don't know. Because again, I don't plan any of this stuff. But for role-playing stuff, you can find me here on twitch.tv/IndoorAdventures on Monday, which you found, and on Thursdays, where I play Albus the Calastra Bard in Ghosts of Saltmarsh Acquisitions Incorporated. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I'm Danae Keener. That's about it. Well, I'm Wings. I do nerdy drawings. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. Nerdy drawings mostly related to D&D and stuff on this channel. I also run a Curse of Strahd game on Tuesdays tomorrow. And woof, is there anything else I have to plug? I don't think so. DanaeKeener.com.
Gen Con.
I'm gonna be at Gen Con. Also. DanaeKeener.com.
Excellent. And if you have made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you do not, hey fella, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the indoor adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/indoor adventures, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and on Saturdays at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Saturdays are our community days, but you've already heard the other games that we do throughout the week. Monday, you have this game, The Four Keeps. Tuesdays, Curse of Strahd. Thursdays, we got Ghosts of Saltmarsh Incorporated, and we try and just do good stuff. We try and do the good works here. If you are interested, we have a Discord that you can come and join in on. I pressed the button and it didn't work the first time, but there it is. The links are below. And hey, if you meet me at Gen Con and are interested in joining our Discord server, guess what, buddy? We got the business cards that have links to it on the back, easily accessible. So hit me up and be like, I want to join in on that shit. And I won't let you unless you say shit. Just like that. So, with that, we are going to be going into our Patreon-supported after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community at large. So, if you have any questions for us, either leave them in the Twitch chat or ask us directly via Discord, because it's going to be much easier for us to see via backlog. So, with that, guys, thank you so much again for coming out to play this week, and we will see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.